the world. It is truly a pleasure to be here today. My name is Mark John Stewart. I am a born and raised Hamiltonian, but also somebody who has had an opportunity to form a really close relationship with LIberia and with Paynesville. So it is with a lot of excitement and gratitude that we come to this conversation today. I'm a local business owner here as well as an industry professor at McMaster University. And it's also been my pleasure to have worked with Empowerment Squared for 15 years, which has really been my channel for a relationship between Hamilton and Paynesville. And I'm just checking on our audio here. There's a little bit of an echo. Okay, and I think we're working on it from the other side. So just to give a little bit of context about what brings me here today, the very short answer is Leo, which is probably what brings most of us around this room, both here in Hamilton and at the Liberian Learning Center. I met Leo in 2010. I was out in the community doing work, looking for different opportunities to contribute and give back. And I just kept hearing over and over, you've got to meet this guy, Leo Johnson. So we were eventually connected, and Leo spoke very passionately of the work that he was doing here in Hamilton, but also of this bold vision that he had to one day start working back in Liberia and help to rebuild the country that he came from that was devastated by civil war. Leo had come to Canada in 2007 as a government-sponsored refugee, and like myself and many others, attended McMaster University. He did incredible work in getting himself established, but then also recognizing that newcomers in the community needed help. And so he began to work on different initiatives, which eventually led to the formation of Empowerment Squared. So when we connected in 2010, it was with an invitation for myself and even some of the other people that I see here around the room today to join the organization's board of directors or to participate as volunteers. Now, at the time, I was very passionate about the work that I was doing in Hamilton and for Canada, so that part of the mission really resonated with me. But I was also really excited at the notion that Leo had introduced about this work in Liberia. Many of us here in Canada who joined with this mission were only somewhat familiar with Liberia, but we were just so inspired by the notion and Leo's passion to want to give back and make a difference. And as one of our friends used to always say, everybody wants to join a winning team. And I think all of us who have joined the journey along the way have had the sense that this great group of people who is convened here today, who is convened at the Liberian Learning Center, who are joining us online, we're doing something really good to change the world. So we developed the organization over the years here in Canada. And in 2017, we started traveling to Liberia to start lay the groundwork for our major project, which is reflected quite literally where our friends in Liberia are sitting today, the Liberian Learning Center. When we first arrived in Liberia, we had a lot of positive conversations. We were also faced with a lot of skepticism and uncertainty. People were saying, we've heard great things before, but to this day, Liberia is still dealing with a lot of the struggles imposed by the war, and we don't have a library, we don't have a learning center. There are complexities to overcome to get to a journey, to a vision like this. So systematically, we worked through that process. I do want to acknowledge on the side, as today we're talking about a relationship between municipalities, that I was always so impressed that the mayors of Paynesville were always champions and leaders of the work that we had done, even across multiple administrations in Liberia. There was this commitment and this dedication to this work. And even as we opened Liberian Learning Center this year, this just marked a formal chapter starting of work that had already been moved on before that. We have programs like the HOPE program, Harnessing Opportunities to Promote Entrepreneurship, that we'd already been running in Liberia, where we were connecting knowledge and insights and opportunities for developing entrepreneurship in Liberia with resources and support coming here from Canada as well. So with all of that context, I know my fellow speakers coming after me are going to continue to layer on. I'm really excited to open up this sister city relationship ceremony where we are looking to establish a collaborative and mutually beneficial relationship between Hamilton and Paynesville with Empowerment Squared as an official facilitator. The relationship aims to foster cultural exchange, mutual understanding and cooperation in various domains, including economic development, education, health, and community development. So by my count, this brings Hamilton to having 11 sister city relationships around the world. They all have their own beautiful stories. One we often hear about and love to tell is with Raccolmuto in Italy. And one of the fascinating factors about that is that, from my understanding, there's 3 times as many people in Hamilton from Raccomaltese descent as there are actually living in Raccomalto in Italy, which is quite an incredible stat. But it just really speaks to the fact that Hamilton is this beautiful, diverse mosaic that continues to grow and evolve. And this new relationship between Hamilton and Paynesville is just the latest in that story that's unfolding. And quite notably, as everybody knows, this is the first between the city of Hamilton and a city in Africa, so it is really a landmark occasion. At the base of all this really is relationship. It's not just twinning cities as cities, but it's the people that make the bonds of this so strong. I shared a little bit about my journey. Many of you have different contexts and relationships to Liberia, Canada, Hamilton, and Paynesville. But with people at the heart of all this, I do want to take a couple minutes to introduce some of the special guests that have joined us from our side over here in Canada. I know Leo will do the same and acknowledge the dignitaries and special guests that have joined in Liberia as well. Beside me here, Her Worship Andrew Horvath, Mayor of the City of Hamilton, and also a very long-time supporter of Empowerment Squared. Mayor, I remember connecting over Empowerment Squared initiatives through all the different hats that you've worn, so I appreciate your very long-standing support. Councillor Tammy Wang, who seconded the motion for this occasion to become official, again, a long-standing supporter. Councillor Esther Pauls, thank you for joining us here as well. We do acknowledge this support at the municipal level as well of Hamilton City Manager Marnie Clucky. I know there's a number of leaders here as well who have joined us from the City of Hamilton. On our stream, I see Paul Takla, CEO of Hamilton Public Library. In the room today, a number of leaders from HPL have joined us here as well. You'll hear shortly a little bit more detail about how the Hamilton Public Library has been one of the intrinsic links between the work that we're doing in Paynesville and here in Hamilton. Laura Farr, representing the Rotary Club of Hamilton, Rotary Club of Hamilton, Rotary Clubs in Liberia, and Rotary International have been critical partners in this partnership coming together and do truly represent those international connections. Somewhere with us as well, I believe online, is Dr. Bonnie Oboa, Vice Provost of International Affairs from McMaster University, as well as other staff and academic leaders from McMaster University. Frank Bergen, Chief of Hamilton Police Service, and leaders as well have joined us from the Hamilton Police Service. I know we also have leaders and representatives from the Liberian Association of Canada. I have to give a big shout out to Liberians in Canada. You may not know, but they've actually established a federated model where there are functioning Liberian associations across Canada in different cities, including in the greater Hamilton area, and they've all come together under the umbrella of the Liberian Association of Canada and are very actively working to improve communities here in Canada and also keep very strong the links back to Liberia. We also have friends that have joined us from Trinity Lutheran Church, Mohawk College, as well. I believe we have Reverend Emmett Dunn, who is the chair of Empowerment Squared Liberia. So Empowerment Squared is registered obviously here in Canada, but now also in Liberia as well. And Reverend Dunn, who has been a great supporter of all our work, is now chair of that organization, and also notably was recently appointed as Presidential Special Envoy for Partnerships and Philanthropy for the Republic of Liberia. So we appreciate the ambassadorial work that he is doing all around the world. I'm welcoming as well Trevor Chandu, who I met, I think, my first day of being introduced to Empowerment Squared at a board meeting 15 years ago. And today, Trevor is back in the seat as board chair of Empowerment Squared. And just another example of the great relationships that have spun out of this intersection. As well, we have many current and past board members and staff members from Empowerment Squared. So pleased to welcome everybody. And as well, our team from Empowerment Squared Liberia. We have Alma Harris, who, again, I met literally on my first day in Liberia along with Leo, who has now become our country manager and is working with an exceptional team. I saw some of our team members there on the call as well. So extremely pleased to welcome everybody here for this occasion. And Leo, thank you for welcoming our Liberian guests just shortly. Before we get started, I do want to also acknowledge that here at the City of Hamilton, we note that we are situated on the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. We further acknowledge that this land is covered by the Between the Lakes Purchase of 1792 between the Crown and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Today, the City of Hamilton is home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we recognize that we must do more to learn about the rich history of this land so that we can better understand our roles as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers. And we keep the principles of this land acknowledgement in mind, especially as we advance these conversations and relationships between our geographic city of Hamilton here and Liberia. So on that note, with all that introduction being made, I see a beautiful crowd assembled at the Liberian Learning Center, and I'm pleased to call up a friend, colleague, Leo Johnson. I will save Leo's bio because many have heard us before, but just to say he is, of course, the CEO, which is Chief Empowerment Officer at Empowerment Squared. He is certainly the visionary behind our organization. Leo has had many notable roles as a leader with the United Nations. He's an instructor at McMaster University, and he is somebody who has sparked really what we're doing here today. So Leo, thank you for bringing all of us here along this 15-year journey, and I will turn things over to you in Paynesville. Thank you. Leo, just to note, we're not able to hear the audio coming through. On the LLC side there, everybody, it looks like you may be on mute. If you can check into that for us.
Can you hear me?
Perfect, you just came online. Excellent.
Super. Okay, so I'm getting an echo. All right, great. So some of our research interns, the first cohort was here from January to April. So at every given time, they would be here for 3 to 4 months of data collecting under the supervision of researchers from McMaster University, but also from Liberia in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. So I wanted to make sure we acknowledge their presence in the room. Our second cohort arrived about 2 weeks ago now in Liberia, and they'll be living with you here in your community for the next number of months. So can you all stand, please, so we can see you? Thank you. So good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. I will stand on the previous protocol since we had some audio trouble there. Today is a day of history in the making, and we want to thank Mark John Stewart, who also was the former board chair of Empowerment Squared, for opening us. It has been 18 years since our journey with Empowerment Squared in Canada. And this bold vision of mobilizing people who believe in the power of education to transform lives. And that vision gave birth to the Liberian Learning Center sitting in here today, this very place. And now this vision has sparked something even greater, the joining of 2 cities, 2 nations, and 2 communities, Hamilton, Canada, and Paynesville, Liberia, joining in a sister city relationship that will inspire learning, solidarity, and shared growth for years to come. So at this point, I would like to do a quick overview of the sister city partnership and how this came about, to give you all some context. On February 14, 2024, Mayor Andrea Horvath of the City of Hamilton put forward a motion to the City of Hamilton Council to establish a sister city relationship with Paynesville. And this event came on the heels of years of work, not only in the city of Hamilton, but in Liberia, in Paynesville here, cultivating people-to-people relationship, far beyond state actors. And this relationship grew deeper as many people visited from Hamilton to Paynesville, including some city councilors as well. And as a result of that, that vote was passed by Hamilton City Council on February 14, 2024, unanimously, where every single city council member voted in favor. And not only voted, the motion was seconded by Councilor Tammy Wine, but also city councilors spoke very passionately about why they felt that this relationship was very important, not just to Hamilton, but to Paynesville for our shared growth and development. So that is the background of this relationship. Is rooted not just in the words on paper or the letters on paper, but is rooted in relationships that have already formed and have been blossoming underneath. And we are using today as an opportunity to crown off what those relationships have been over the years. At this point, we will have some reflections from some of our stakeholders who have been very instrumental in forging this relationship, both on the Canadian side and on the Liberian side. And the way I like to put it is that today we bring Canada and Liberia one step closer to each other using this relationship. And historically, for Hamilton, this is the first ever sister city relationship on the African continent. So this is also even bigger than we see. I will begin by inviting Paul Takala, who is the CEO of the Hamilton Public Library, our partner and sister library. So you may not know, but we've recently just formulated a relationship officially between Hamilton Public Library and the Liberian Learning Center for sharing resources, knowledge, expertise. Paul has been to Liberia 3 times now throughout the formation of the project, but Paul's team was very instrumental in providing training directly as we begin to imagine what the space will look like, including a few weeks ago, one of our staff members traveling to Canada for experiential hands-on training within the Hamilton Public Library system, McMaster University Library, and Mohawk Libraries. Again, we are giving birth to something new, so sometimes experiential training is very important. So without any ado, I would like to invite, virtually joining us from Canada, Paul Takala, CEO of the Hamilton Public Library.
Thank you very much, Leo. Your Worship, Mayors Howarth and Bestman, councillors, honored guests, and friends from Hamilton, as well as friends from Paynesville, Liberia. You know, as the Chief Librarian of the Hamilton Public Library, it's my singular honor to speak to you today to recognize this important relationship between Paynesville and Hamilton. I want to thank, as has been acknowledged, the leadership of both Hamilton, mayors in Hamilton and in Paynesville, Mayors Bestman and Howarth, and councillors for supporting this really important initiative. It's been inspiring to me to be involved with Leo and Empowerment Squared and see the work that they're doing to empower youth and families. Leo's vision of hard work, entrepreneurial drive, and his willing to try to create something new has really inspired many of us. I do want to acknowledge the important work that many have done to get us to this day. Certainly the Rotary Club of Monrovia and the Rotary Club of Hamilton and the many other Rotary clubs and Rotary International, you know, have really been, were instrumental in the early days of helping keep this moving forward. As Chief Librarian, it's been inspiring to me to see some of our staff step forward and really get involved and see the value of this work. I want to acknowledge McMaster University and the architects of the beautiful Liberian Learning Center, McCallum Sather, for the work that they've done to get us to where we are today. In my 30 years as a librarian, I've learned a bunch of lessons about how you can work with others to make meaningful change. And what's been really inspiring to me over the last, it's been about 12 years that I've been working with Leo, is I've been inspired to see Leo and the Empowerment Square embody this. One thing we learn, or I've learned, is that education is not filling a bucket, it's lighting a fire. And I see Empowerment Squared really helping inspire youth and families to make, to uncover their own potential. Everyone has gifts and something to offer. And if you want to help someone, the best thing you can do is find a way for them to give back. I think Empowerment Squared is doing that on so many levels. You know, we all have different roles to play in creating a better future. One thing that has really inspired me with what Empowerment Squared, as Leo is doing, is, you know, we can talk about or advocate for a better future. We can ask for governments or to do different things. But what we can also do is get people involved in empowering themselves to improve their own future and improve the communities they live in. So we don't have to wait for government to act. We need to empower each other to use their gifts to advance for a better future. When we embrace working with people, we can do so much more than doing things for people. And I've seen that over and over again as how Leo and the Empowerment Square team has worked with so many people. And it's been my absolute honor to be involved in this. As a young man, I spent some time in West Africa and in the Gambia, and I'm convinced of my experience there in the Gambia actually has been instrumental in me achieving what I have here in Canada. And it's that West African spirit of, you know, determination and making things work together by working together and not giving up. And so Leo has embraced that, and I think Hamilton is richer for it, and we're richer for our partnership with the people from Paynesville. Mayor Bestman, Mayor Howarth, congratulations on seeing the value of Empowerment Squared and the Liberian Learning Center. I look forward to continuing this journey together to build on the work that's already happened. From my perspective, much more work is ahead than's already happened, and the best is yet to come. So we look forward to being there with you as you continue your journey, Leo and team. Best to everyone in Paynesville, and I look forward to coming back as soon as it's possible. Thank you very much.
We'll just need you to turn the mic back on at the LLC. Leo, just to note that we can't hear you online. I think the human part of connecting two cities is easy enough, but the technical part may be a little more complicated. So I think they're just sorting out the audio connection there at the LLC.
Can you hear me, Mark?
Yep, you're good now, Leo.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you make sure we're unmuted, Chris?
You're good, Leo. We can hear you now.
us?
This is a new comedy routine Leo and I are working on.
Can you hear us? All right, our connection went down, so we'll continue with remarks from some of our stakeholders while we get the connection going via audio. I'm managing the technology side of the human connection here, so we will proceed with inviting Mr. J. Maxwell Pinda, who is the city manager for the Paynesville City Corporation at this point to make remarks. Mr. J. Maxwell.
Good afternoon. Kindly permit me to stand on existing protocol as I made a brief remark. Firstly, I want to say a big thank you to the city of Hamilton from Canada, who have made this awesome thing in our country for which to take. This is something that has brought pride to our citizens. On behalf of my team, which I am the lead in the city of Paynesville, I want to say a big thank you to Brother Leo, who has championed this cause for us. We are proud of the city of Hamilton collaborating with our city in ensuring that we have a sister-city relationship. This will bring a lot of good things for us, and it will ensure that things in our city, they get to better. On behalf of myself, I want to say thank you again, and thank you for this time. Thank you.
All right, they're hearing us now from that side. I got confirmation, so we're not worried about the video feed. And we're hearing them clearly, and they'll be able to hear us. So once again, I'm going to say to everyone, we will welcome Mayor Andrea Holbert, Mayor of the city of Hamilton. You may not see her live, but you'll be able, we'll do our best so that you can hear the audio from Mayor Andrea Holbert coming live. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm really pleased to be here with you today at this really auspicious occasion for the city of Hamilton, both in person and virtually, and the city of Paynesville. I want to start by thanking our facility staff and your facilities folks over there to make sure our technology is running smoothly. Now, that's in my written notes. But we are finding our way forward, and that's what we do when we have excellent partnerships, good understanding, and positive relationships, right? Absolutely. So I do want to extend a heartfelt welcome to all of the distinguished guests, of course, here in our City Council chambers in Hamilton and also in Paynesville, Liberia. The Honorable Robert Solunto Bestman II, Mayor of the City of Paynesville, members of Paynesville City Council, representatives from Liberia National Police, representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, representatives from the University of Liberia, and staff of Empowerment Squared's Liberian Learning Center. We're delighted to be together with you over the distance. for this really important moment. And we're grateful for your time and for your commitment to our growing relationship. I'd also like to recognize my colleagues here from the City of Hamilton's Council who are with us. You've already heard Councillor Tammy Wang, the Councillor for Ward 4, who seconded the motion, and we're very grateful for that, Councillor Wang, as well as Councillor Esther Pauls for Ward 7, who's been very much an advocate of all people in this city and partnerships and relationships and friendships. I also want to acknowledge that we have our Chief of Police here, Chief Frank Bergen from the Hamilton Police Service. Really appreciate you and your team for always being at our important events here in the City of Hamilton. I have to say that as a City of Hamilton Mayor, I'm incredibly proud to announce that we have formalized the sister city relationship with Paynesville, LIberia. I also want to say that as the mayor of this city, these kinds of relationships create space for so much positivity. And oftentimes, especially these days, that positivity is hard to find. But we have found it through the sincere and extreme efforts, really, of a small group of people who've ended up bringing us all into this space today. It's been a bit of a time coming, and I know that we all know that on behalf of myself, Mayor Horvath, did you hear that, Paul? Horvath. I know you're sick, so I forgive you. But the fact that we tried so hard to do this in person, I know how hard we tried. And this is really, it's just as good, because notwithstanding the distance physically, the spirit is so strong. And I can feel it coming through the airwaves, and I know that everybody else can as well. And that's, I guess, the beauty of technology, but really it's the power of spirit. And we all come with such an open and positive spirit today. So even though we are doing this kind of virtually as opposed to in person, it really is a moment to celebrate. And as has already been noted, the 11th sister city relationship for the city of Hamilton. It's historic. And it's also, as has been noted as well, the first time our city has formed such a partnership with a city on the African continent. It's a reflection of Hamilton's growing global connections, our increasingly diverse population, and the invaluable contributions that newcomers make to our community each and every day. And I was pleased to hear from Mark John the update on the National Federation of African countries that have come together across Canada. That's very, very important and exciting. You know, when we look at why we're here, I think we would all acknowledge that we are here because of the efforts and work and passion of a couple of key people and organizations. And of course, my deep gratitude and appreciation to everyone at Empowerment Squared. I've had the honor of serving in more than one role as an elected person in the city of Hamilton, representing our community in different ways. But nothing really tops the impact, I think that's the right word, the impact of dedicated groups of everyday people who make a difference for others. And that is the definition of Empowerment Squared. Your impact here in our city has been significant, and I have to say, relatively over a short period of time. For me, I have always appreciated that, and I always will. As folks know, Empowerment Squared was founded by Leo Nupolu Johnson, and it has spent the past 15 years supporting newcomers and creating opportunities for youth and families here in Hamilton, and of course, now abroad. Special thank you to Chantel Ashley, Manager of International Programs, for your leadership and passion. Thank you to the Hamilton City staff who've done everything that they can to make sure that not only today's event was a success, but I know there have been many connections with Empowerment Squared, and I really do appreciate that. One of the most exciting aspects of this new relationship is the LIberia Learning Center, and I can see it virtually now, and I hope to see it in person someday. It is a collaborative and visionary project located, of course, on the grounds of Paynesville City Hall. Led by Empowerment Squared, the center is being developed with local contributions and in partnership with, and I'm going to name some of our local Hamilton partners, McAllen Sather Architects, Inc., the Hamilton Public Library, Paul Takala, who we've already heard from, and I do want to say, Paul, particularly to you, that I know how key you have been. And it's interesting, often, in my experience anyways, a lot of times it's often thought that sister cities are only about economic activity. That's not the case. In fact, many of the sister cities here in Hamilton began with cultural exchange and understanding and learning and knowledge. And I think, Paul, that you were able, as the lead at our library system, to remind us all here at our side, at the city side, how important these pieces are. And so you're a real leader in that regard, and I appreciate that on a real personal level. So thank you for that. I think the previous speakers have spoken to that piece around education and uplifting and partnership, including yourself. Of course, learning, McMaster University, another partner. Rotary International, another very, very important community-based organization that supports so much work that goes on in our community. Rotary Club of our communities, Rotary Club of Hamilton, Rotary Club of Monrovia, Paynesville City Corporation, Tri-Buchanan Development Corporation. There are many, many others, because each one of these organizations has many people who hold that organization up and who are really the people that activate the work of any organization. So to everyone, my deepest congratulations, my deepest thanks, and I really know that this center is going to make such a change and have such an impact in LIberia, in Paynesville, and just being a little part of that from the connections to our city, it makes me very, very proud and very hopeful, really, for the future. Once complete, we know that the Learning Center will include LIberia's first post-war comprehensive learning center and library, co-working and business incubation spaces. Again, that economic activity is absolutely important. Sports and recreation facilities, something that our councillor Pauls is very much an advocate of here in our community. Events and gathering spaces. Everyone is so pleased that phase 1 of the Liberian Learning Center was completed a year ago, 2 years ago now? About 9 months? Just under a year, okay. Together, we're going to be able to promote understanding and community exchange, support trade, investment, and economic development, facilitate educational partnerships and capacity building, collaborate on public health initiatives and improvements. I really am excited about the opportunities ahead, and I look forward to working with all of you as we grow this partnership between our sister cities. Thank you again to all of you who are here to share in this really important moment. Thank you all for your commitment, and thank you for, having a shared sense of joy today, because I certainly feel that way myself, and I suspect that all of us participating today feel similarly. It's truly a celebration for both Hamilton and Paynesville, and I'm honored to officially announce, and we'll be signing shortly, the paperwork that makes it official. Something that we've been trying to do for a while. Really happy to be able to get it over the finish line today with all of you and to celebrate this historic partnership. So let's give a big round of applause to everyone involved, to each other, and obviously to mark this really important milestone. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Sorry, please. All right. That was the mayor of the city of Hamilton bringing her remarks. I will take 1 or 2 stakeholder remarks, and obviously I would like Mayor Bestman to sum it all up for us in a very a brief way. We have Mr. Francis Hina, who is a member of the Board of Empowerment Square, speaking on behalf of the board, but also is a Liberian who left from here, went through the refugee camps as well as a leader on the camp, ended up in Canada, and now also supports this effort tremendously. So we will turn things over to Mr. Francis Hina.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone joining us from around the world. It is truly an honor for me to share a few words of this historic occasion, both as a proud Liberian and as a member of the Board of Directors of Empowerment Square. This moment carries a very personal meaning for me. Like many Liberians, I came to Canada as a refugee, forced to rebuild my life from the ground up. Canada became a place of refuge and opportunity where I could pursue my dream and build a future for my family. But my heart has always remained connected to Liberia, and I've always carried a deep desire to see our homeland heal, thrive, and reclaim its place in the global community. Today, as we witness the formalization of a sister city relationship between Hamilton and Paynesville, I see more than just a ceremonial agreement. I see a bridge of friendship, of learning, of shared progress. It is a reminder that while our histories may be different, our destinies are deeply connected. The Liberian Learning Center stands at the center of this vision. It is more than a building. It is a symbol of what we can achieve when people from different corners of the world come together with courage, commitment, and hope. The Learning Center is a gift not only to Liberia, but also to Canada, a living testimony of how global solidarity can change lives and communities. As a board member, I'm honored and humbled to play a small part in this story. As a Liberian, I'm proud to see my community honored in this way. And as someone who found a second home in Canada, I'm filled with gratitude that Hamilton has extended its hand to Paynesville in a spirit of partnership. So on behalf of the Empowerment Square, I celebrate this milestone with all of you, and I look forward to the many ways this relationship will blossom for generations to come. Mayor Hoover and all the stars of Hamilton, Mayor Bestman and those in Liberia, we say thank you and thanks for this opportunity. God bless us all. Thank you.
Mayor Robert, thank you. That was from Mr. Hina. At this point, I will invite Mr. Paul Alex Panto Jr. from the Paynesville City Council, and after that, I will be inviting Dr. Mapayan also to provide remarks before Mayor Bestman takes the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And greetings, everyone. Well, let me acknowledge the persons called Mr. Robert Bestman, Mayor of the City of Paynesville, Mayor Andrew Howard of the City of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and her entire team. And let me also recognize the presence of other dignitaries and my distinguished colleagues at the Council of the Hamilton City and my honorable council members of the Paynesville City. Today, it is not just an ordinary event. And this day is not just remarkable or historic. This day or this event is indeed powerful. It is powerful not just in the history of Paynesville, but it's also powerful, which I believe, there in Hamilton. And I believe George Hamilton, in whose name the city was named in honor, is indeed happy by now. Because this signing ceremony, it is a bridge between our various cultures. This event is not just an ordinary one that I say. This relationship signifies the commitment of international solidarity and communal prosperity. We at the level of Paynesville City Council, we hold it dearly, respect it a lot, and we pray that this relationship, the step that we all take today by both hands, will go a very long way. Thank you ever so much, and we look forward to having a wonderful signing ceremony. Thank you.
That was Mr. Paul Alex Panto Jr. He's the co-chair of the Paynesville City Council. At this time, Dr. Mampayan, I will invite you out, President of the University of Liberia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please permit me to stand on existing protocol, but may I also extend a special welcome to our dignitaries today, both here in Paynesville, in Liberia, and across the water in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I can say that all audio-video problems aside, as Mayor Horvath alluded, we can feel the spirit of this partnership. And on behalf of the University of Liberia, I bring greetings and congratulations at the commencement, or I should say the culmination of this sister city relationship, because this has been a long time in the making. I actually first became aware of this relationship about a month and a half before I came to Liberia to ascend the helm at the University of Liberia. I was watching one of my favorite online shows, Emmanuel Y. Cortu's County Diary. I don't know if you've ever seen it. But he came to the Liberia Learning Center to interview Leo, and they walked around. I don't think the building was even quite finished. But I used to live in Paynesville. My first home in Liberia was in the Duport Road area, and I hadn't been back in a while, and I saw this building, and I said, wow, things are really changing in Paynesville. I want to see this place. So when I came to Liberia, when I moved here to become president, I immediately said, someone needs to take me to the Liberia Learning Center because I want to see the place for myself. And as you can imagine, few people are more concerned with education and reading than I am. As a professional in higher education, reading is our business. Education is our business. Books are our business. And so I immediately decided in my mind that the Liberia Learning Center was going to have to be a partner with the University of Liberia. And even though we haven't formalized that yet, we will. So, thank you. But I say all that to throw it back to the bigger picture of this sister city relationship between Hamilton and Paynesville. You know, my own father was a community college president, and he was a big fan of sister city relationships. He was always going away for sister city relationship business meetings. So I grew up with a very fond feeling about sister city relationships. And I can already see, as evidenced by the Liberia Learning Center and the other facilities that it's building right here around, that this is going to be a fruitful and important sister city relationship. So again, from the University of Liberia, we bring greetings and congratulations. We value this effort, and we look forward to the way that the university will be part of the relationship through our relationship with the Liberia Learning Center. Already, we held our PhD retreat here last month, and it was a great event. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who brought this relationship into being, everyone who will keep it going, and to our friends in Canada and our friends here, I want to say, it's not just Liberians who can think Liberia, love Liberia, and build Liberia, it's also Canadians. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lady Mampayan, for those remarks. And yes, we're really excited at the opportunity of exploring with UL some of the work that we could do together. Imagining this facility was always about what it would spark. And we're beginning to see that. At this point, someone who has also worked very hard, you know, when Mayor Bestman was taking office, all of this was in flux. We're not even finished properly yet. And then I had to drop it on his desk with everything else that was happening with the transition of a new government and hope that he would just take all in strides and don't question any of them. And to his credit, since Mayor Bestman took office, he's been a champion for this work, both the sister-city relationship, but also the completion of this building and everything else that we have to actually go through. And I promise Mayor Bestman that we will make that journey to Canada to meet in person so Mayor Harvard can host. And we're working on it, but things can change. So let's sign the paperwork and make sure the relationship is in place, and then we can work on the other one. With that being said, Mayor Bestman, I will say congratulations to you because this is also part of your work, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. We would like to start by recognizing the men and good people that are in this hall today, and Mayor Ward and the City Council of Hamilton in Hamilton, Ontario, in Canada City, in Canada. We have a lot of very serious, important people in this hall. So it's giving me a difficult time to move my eyes around to pick up some of them. So I will try to pick up a few of them. We will start with Dr. Napayan. I'm sure the name is not difficult for me as a better man like myself, so it will be very easy to call Dr. Napayan. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the work you are doing at the University of Liberia. I saw the chairman on the committee on rules and order. I hope he's here or he left. Colette, Honorable Colette was in, and my own team. Before getting to my team, the chief of staff of the mayor of the capital city of Liberia, the mayor of Monrovia, Mayor John Stiafa, and she's Charlene Kiri. So she's representing the Honorable Mayor, the office of the Lord Mayor of Monrovia, and my team, the city manager, the head of our representative on the sister-city relation, Ms. Rich Howard Doma Sharif. She has been in the thick and thin of doing all of the work behind that we are here today. All of my directors are also here, and the just a minute as I call him, I think he also went out to the bathroom or somewhere. The Administrative Magistrate of Paynesville City Court also here. But Mayor Ward, before I move forward, I would like to recognize my predecessor that started this with Leo, my young brother. We want to give the recognition to those mayors that served before me, starting from Mayor Sylvia Gilson. I watched a video of Mayor Gilson in Canada, and then followed by Mayor Pam Burgess-Taylor, that moved this relationship to this level where I'm picking up from. It is normal, as we say in Liberia, government is continuative. So I'm picking up from where this up, and I really want to acknowledge them here and appreciate all that they have put into where we met this. Like Canada and Hamilton City was started by George Hamilton. So as Paynesville, the last commissioner to transfer from Paynesville Township to Paynesville City was Commissioner J.C. Howard. They all had a dream about building a very unique community. George Hamilton have gone down in history to establishing one of the most established cities in Hamilton, in Canada, called Hamilton. That idea came 1816. It became the steel city of Canada, contributed immensely to building a nation called Canada. Hamilton has been an integrated part of the development of Canada. Slightly over 600,000 inhabitants. The population of Hamilton is not that far from that of the population of Paynesville. So it is only just very important that the both cities are coming together today to be Hamilton first sister city relationship in Africa. As I've gone through a brief history of Mayor Ward, there's a lot that she has put in community work, from being the leader of the National Democratic Party to taking the seat in 2022 of the city of Hamilton. She has done a lot of great work in providing affordable housing for the people of Hamilton. She was very instrumental in setting out public health care in the COVID period in Hamilton. Have a very good program for economic revalidation. She also put a lot of work in transportation and infrastructure, environmental issues, community engagement, and social justice. Mayor Warren, your record is one that we in Paynesville are really interested in copying from. It is always good to learn from those who have set a high standard and done it very well. As the world is now drawing closer, we don't need to reinvent the way. There are many good lessons we can learn from out there, and some of which we are really interested in copying from Hamilton City to bring back to Paynesville, to make sure our people learn from how Hamilton has transformed over the period of time to today, what they are. You can now see the building we are standing in, the LIberia Learning Center, one of a kind in the whole Republic. That credit goes to the empowerment sphere held by my brother and friend, Leo Johnson, and the people of Hamilton, to put this modern facility that whenever I leave Paynesville and go anywhere, people keep talking about the learning center. And we want to say to the people of Hamilton Empowerment Sphere, we are grateful for this facility. We are interested in the building of the capacity of the children, the elderly, the youth of our community in Paynesville. I'm also glad that we have young students from Canada that are here to work with us in Paynesville to get data, to give us a true view of the issue that is putting our society down. The issue of drugs addiction, it is a serious problem in Paynesville and in LIberia at large. Today, the people of Canada are here to help us to get the true data of the gravity of the issues that we face in Paynesville when it comes to drugs addiction. So we want to say to the young people that have come, the office of the city corporation, the office of the mayor of the city of Paynesville is open to you people. We have the office of the youth representative in Paynesville also open to you people, and we wish that you could get, if possible, to most of our community, interact with our young people, make friends, and feel free as you move around in Paynesville. Today, as I watch the deliberation from the City Council of Hamilton, when the video was sent to me by Leo Johnson, and I watched the number of votes taken, had all council members in the council that day voted unanimously to pass the vote to establish a sister city with Paynesville City. I felt so proud that far at this end in Canada, the people there are thinking about Paynesville. So now I put to the people of Paynesville, we have a challenge. If people from that this end can be thinking about how we can better our society here, it is on to us. It is on to us to even put more effort, as our president would say. We should think LIberia, love LIberia, and build LIberia. Thank you so much, and we are prepared for the final target.
So much, Mayor Passman. We'll go straight into our signing. We'll get the table up with the official agreement. So Mayor Passman will be signing here, and Mayor Hubbard will be signing in Hamilton as well. And I will be delivering both copies across the ocean on both sides as well once that is done. But we pull the table to allow Mayor Passman to sign. Like I said, because it's an official document, I will read the actual motion itself that was passed. And we need the official document up here as well in the folder. I don't see the document though, so.
Leo, may I say something quickly while we're organizing the document signing?
Can I have it?
I don't think he can hear me.
I'm going to officially read it, and then I will invite Mayor Bestman, and I know Mayor Harvard is getting ready on her end as well for signing. Sister City Relationship Agreement. This agreement is made and entered into on the 23rd day of September 2025 by and between City of Hamilton, a municipal corporation with its principal offices located at 71 Main Street West, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, hereinafter referred to as Hamilton. Paynesville City Corporation, a municipal government agency with its principal offices located at Weaver Avenue, Paynesville, LIberia. and Global Citizens Care for Underprivileged and Refugee Empowerment, also known as Empowerment Squared, with its principal offices located at 26 Arrowsmith Road, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Purpose. The purpose of this Twin City Relationship Agreement is to establish a collaborative and mutually beneficial relationship between Hamilton and Paynesville, with the facilitator acting as the official facilitator. This relationship aims to foster cultural exchange, mutual understanding, and cooperations in various domains, including economic development, education, health, and community development. Objectives: cultural exchange, economic development, education and training, health and well-being, and community development. The City of Hamilton will provide resources and support as appropriate for initiatives and programs which further the agreement's objectives and as agreed upon by Hamilton. Will participate in joint activities and exchanges organized by the parties and the facilitator. Will coordinate with Paynesville and the facilitator to ensure effective implementation of the objectives set forth in this agreement. The Paynesville City Corporation will also provide resources and support as appropriate for initiatives and programs which further the agreement's objectives and as agreed upon by Paynesville. We'll also participate in joint activities and exchanges and will coordinate with Hamilton and the facilitator to ensure effective implementation. Governance and coordination. The facilitator will work with both cities to oversee activities and ensure alignment with the objectives of the agreement. The facilitator shall submit regular reports on the progress and impact of the activities and prepare annual proposals, plans to be shared among the parties for consideration or approval where appropriate. Duration and termination. The agreement will commence on an effective date and will be reviewed every 5 years to consider improvements and ensure it is still germane and serving its intended purpose. Any party may terminate this agreement with 3 months written notice to the other parties at their principal office address, as set out on the first page of this agreement. Upon notice of termination, the parties will cooperate to wind down any ongoing activities or commitments that were initiated before notice of termination received. Now, I will skip all of the other parts, just legal jargons. The lawyers can do that one, they've done their work already. And I will say this: each party shall ensure that it obtains and maintains insurance satisfactory to the other parties for the duration of this agreement. Prior to releasing any communication respecting the Twin City Agreement, each party agrees to seek the approval, the prior approval of each other. By signing below, the parties agree to the terms and conditions outlined in the sister city relationship. The City of Hamilton will be signed by Martin Cluckey, the city manager, Paynesville City Corporation, Mayor Robert Silontu Bestman II, and myself, Leo Napolu Johnson, a Chief Empowerment Officer of Empowerment Square. So without any ado, I will invite Mayor Bestman. For the record, and for all the paparazzis and everybody, I heard Mayor Andrea Horvath wanted to say a few words, if I understood better, so we can allow her to say that before the signing proceeds.
Thank you very much, Leo. I appreciate it. And yes, our city manager, because she's the person responsible for the corporation, is signing, but I'm also signing as the mayor because I feel that it's important to acknowledge and be a part of the celebration through signing as well. I also very briefly want to recognize someone who's joined us today. We had a by-election here in the city of Hamilton that took people to the polls last night for one of our wards, and we've have the pleasure of inviting or recognizing our city councillor-elect, Rob Cooper, to the council chambers. Nice to see you, Rob, and congratulations. I was going to phone you later today, but you're here, and that's great. So welcome, and look forward to working with you. So thank you for that, and I, again, will be symbolically signing on behalf of our city council and the people of Hamilton.
So there we have it. Mayor Bestman will also do the same thing simultaneously. So we had to make sure the actual signatures were there. So they were demonstrated in front of us, but we already got the official signatures, but it'll be demonstrated so that we can have it on record that these documents were processed by Mayor Bestman and Mayor Harvard from the Hamilton side. So the time is 3:15 GMT, and I know is 11:15 Standard Eastern Time in Hamilton, Canada, making history at this moment going forward. The city of Hamilton and the city of Paynesville officially are declared by the signing of this document as sister city. Where I come from, we clap for those kind of big things, so we're going to clap for that. Thank you. All right. Thank you to both mayors. Thank you for the hard work to everybody in the room and out of this room in Canada who work behind the scenes. To our team at Empowerment Squared, to the team at Hamilton City, and to the team at Paynesville City Corporation, thank you. It is our hope that this can be lifted as a model. You may be wondering why Empowerment Squared is a party to the signature. Usually politicians tend to change in government. Mayor Robert Bestman may not be here one day, or Mayor Harvard may not be there one day. So as a facilitator, we have a job to make sure that that relationship is active and continue to work, even when governments do change, so that the relationship is alive. So Mayor, thank you very much. You can have your seat. Thank you. So to close us, our board chair, to close us up, our board chair in Hamilton for Empowerment Square, Mr. Trevor Jondu, will be giving us our final remarks. After our final remarks, and you are free to go. Thank you for being generous with your time, with all the technicalities that we had. We're a little bit over 3 p.m., so we thank you for that. We will invite Trevor to give us our final closing remarks. And then after that, those of you who want to watch the action of the vote that was taken, you can watch, but we will be officially closing after Trevor makes the closing remark. And I would like to recognize, I know Amma Harris is in the back, our country manager for Empowerment Squared. The amount of work that goes on here, she and her entire team, thank you. Thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you, Leo, and thank you all for joining us for this occasion. Madam Mayor, thank you very much for your support of Empowerment Squared over my 15 years, and probably before that. I've mentioned before that the mayor has been, I would say, one of the more silent yet loud supporters of Empowerment Squared. I know that sounds contradictory, but I'll explain in a second. Anytime we have needed anything, she's been there, regardless of the hat that she has worn, and she has done so behind the scenes. But she's also made it very public that she's supported Empowerment Squared, but she's done a lot more behind the scenes than some would give her credit for. I know I've mentioned it to a few of our board members as well, and I just want to thank you very, very much for all your dedication to Empowerment Squared. I think it goes without saying to say that without the help that you have provided us over the years, we wouldn't be where we are, because we've been impactful because of people like yourself make phone calls to make things happen. It's many times overnight, actually, many times overnight. So we want to thank you very much for that. Thank you all for coming. For those in Liberia, as you know, I've been there a couple of times already. I know how much this means. Thank you all for joining us. To the mayor of Paynesville, thank you as well. I know we met when I was there in December, if my memory is correct. So I just want to say thank you all for this. Thank you for the sister city relationship. Council Wang, thank you for the seconding of the motion. To the police chief and our staff and our supporters, both in Hamilton and in Liberia, we thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to celebrate with us. And if there's any questions or any comments, those in Liberia, there's representatives there, there's people here, and I'm told that that's all the time I got, so thank you all very much.
I know Mayor mentioned it, and also Trevor, you mentioned it. I would like to recognize our police chief from Hamilton. He's one of the silent supporters behind this work, and in fact, we've had other discussions already about how the Hamilton police can start facilitating some support for our police services here. Some of those conversations have already been initiated even before the signing of this document. So I would like to I also like to put him on the record in that way. I didn't seek his permission to say this publicly, but I know who he is. So we will work hard to make sure some of those come to fruition. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And thank you for being so generous with your time this afternoon, and have a good one.
And so just for everybody here in Hamilton, we will be having a reception out in the lobby later. I'll invite those who want to come up and take a photo to commemorate the moment to come up and join the mayor and others in doing that. And if there are any media that want to chat, just come let us know and be happy to do so. So we'll conclude from there. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I'll make sure you receive your official notarized copy.
It's going to be